Hey everybody, I want to talk to you today about your classroom libraries. You've probably heard the phrase windows and mirrors, coined in the 80s by Emily Stile. Windows and Mirrors described a framework for building an inclusive curriculum, describing how children learn about themselves and others through representation. The phrase is commonly used today when talking about children's books, both for students of dominant cultures to learn about the world's diversity and for members of underrepresented groups to see themselves. But representation alone is not an end goal, it's a step in the right direction. Having diverse characters and case studies isn't helpful and, in fact, could be harmful if it's superficial or one dimensional, if it perpetuates harmful stereotypes. Representation needs to be thoughtful, critical, and intentional. Some of you may have heard me share a story from my own childhood. Like every girl in the 80s, I loved Barbie. Three of my favorites were Crystal Barbie, Peaches and Cream Barbie, and Dreamglow Barbie. Dreamglow Barbie even had a beautiful canopy bed and a parasol. Everything was covered with these stars that glowed in the dark. And I knew that Barbie was everything a girl could ever dream of being. She was perfection. I also knew that I was fundamentally different from her and from every Barbie in existence at that time. But then, the first ever Asian American Barbie was released. Finally, a beauty queen I could aspire to be like, an elegant, golden-skinned goddess with straight black hair. I wondered, would her gown sparkle or glow? Would it have delicate sheer layers? What would her jewelry look like? What kind of accessories would she have? But it turns out that girls who looked like me didn't wear beautiful dresses or have a fancy hairstyle. They didn't get a little plastic ring in their hand. They didn't get a pair of earrings. You know what? She didn't even get shoes. So while all the other girls in my class could imagine themselves, could see themselves in this beautiful model in a shimmery gown with diamond jewelry, and you know that's who Ken's gonna pick, my mirror didn't even have enough clothes to get into a restaurant. So did Mattel offer me representation? Yes. But was it one-dimensional and perpetuating harmful stereotypes? Well, the only Asian American Barbie had no dress, no jewelry, no shoes, and hair all the way down to her knees. Also, her name wasn't Becky or Katie or Whitney. Her name was Miko, and Tropical Miko, because Asians come from tropical islands. What I learned was that girls like me are exotic, but simple. And I never saw dolls or cartoons that told me otherwise. So let's bring this back to your library. Representation in itself is just not enough. Are students learning the right things from the books that they can access in your classroom? As you're going through your books, I would like you to consider 3 criteria for weeding books out of your classroom. Number 1, books that perpetuate stereotypes. All stereotypes are harmful, not just the negative ones. Number 2, books that emphasize difference so much that the difference becomes completely negative. It's an abnormal thing. And number 3, books that water down a story in a way that maybe takes away from the seriousness of an injustice or makes it seem like a whole social movement is an act by a single person or makes certain people invisible. I'm going to break it down into smaller bites and give you some examples so you can look at where you want to start.